welcome to our live session today. How to do a master's degree in Germany. I just see that I'm not on the starting page. Well, luckily, people usually only tune in after a few minutes. So, welcome to a live stream with all the imperfections that you have in a live stream. By the way, so you can already see a bit of our content today, we'll talk about money, of course. We'll talk about higher education in Germany in general. So sound seems to be okay. That's good. Yeah, so this is the official starting page. So maybe just for the recording, I should pretend that everything went well and that we just had a nice start. So, hello everyone. Welcome to our online Q&A session, Study in Germany. Today we will be focusing on master's programs, more specifically on international master's programs. Yeah, so we are not looking for the odd one out, the funny student who is so fluent in German that they can, do a German degree, but we are now looking at the programs taught entirely in English. That's what we are looking for, and yeah, it's quite an experience, and just to give the other candidates a bit of a chance to also tune in, I'd like to show you a little video about the experience in Germany. So it's for most students it's quite remarkable, and it has a bit of all what you can get in Germany, a bit of a cultural shock and everything. So while we wait for more students to tune in to our Facebook live stream, we'll just start that running. Yeah, hello, welcome back. I'm glad to see that yeah, students are, or interested people are turning in. Um, oh, you're quick. Wow. So we already have the first question regarding scholarships. Yes. Um, Typically, it's just a matter of telling the whole story. I try to keep up the suspense and talk about scholarships kind of last, but yeah, just to keep your attention span, I try to focus on uh, a very brief idea what the DAD is, a few, well, simple informations about Germany and higher education in Germany, and then we'll talk about the scholarship, about the programs that are available, and then we come to scholarships. And of course, well, questions are very welcome anytime. I really prefer to answer your questions than to just holding a monologue and to keep talking. So, um, yeah, well, the DAAD has quite a number of offices worldwide, about 70 of them, and so the office in Bangkok, the information center in Bangkok, is one of them, and the DAD is an agency funded by the German ministries of the exterior, of education and research, and of cooperation and development. So it's a jointly funded agency representing German higher education abroad. We have got three aims, and very simply put, most of my time I spend providing information. So that can be both for the German partners, but of course also for the Thai partners, be it students or lecturers, researchers, university administrators, or ministry level, and anything in between. But we're also the biggest scholarship donor worldwide, so that is an important factor, and we are not providing scholarships based on needs, but based on merit. Yeah, so it's really scholarships for the best. Yeah, so if you want to apply, it doesn't matter where you come from, or yeah, it's not need based, but it's really you need to show that you're the best one for this scholarship. Okay, so that was it already about DAD. As I said, very brief. If you want to learn more, feel free to ask. Yeah, Germany, as you can see, nicely centered in the middle of Europe. So it's very easy to travel within Europe. It's part of the Schengen area, so once you're in, you can go basically anywhere. And just, well, to give you an idea, with the train you can go from Cologne to Paris in, I think, 4 hours, or in the same time, 4, maybe 5 hours, you can go to London by train. Well, you have to cross the channel, but that is possible with a train. Or Cologne to Berlin is, I think, 3.5 hours. So very, very easy to get around. Okay, so this slide is always a bit confusing because there are so many dots on it, and every little dot is one university. And I know that nobody can read all the names of the cities here, and that's, I would say, intentional. It is just to give you an idea that universities in Germany are very widespread. Yeah, so they are not so much focused on just one metropolitan area, but they are really spread more or less equally in the countryside. So even small towns and villages, do have very good universities. If you're interested, on Twitter, I just have a series, and I think on Facebook as well. If you look for the hashtag 15 under 50K, yeah, so 15, that is universities, under 50,000 inhabitants. So there are 15 university towns with less than 50,000 inhabitants, and you can find little portraits of those little towns. Really nice series, I believe, and there is a new one every week. So that's a nice thing to look at for the next few weeks. Yeah, so those round about 400 universities provide about 20,000 different academic programs, and really the quality is comparable no matter where you are. So you don't have to go to Berlin or to Munich or to Hamburg, but you can also study in any of those smaller towns and cities without a worry about quality. So out of those, as I said, 20,000 programs, about 2,000 programs are offered entirely in English. Yeah, so the majority of those programs is taught in German language, but about 2,000 programs are taught entirely in English. So in those programs, there is no German language proficiency required. That's why I asked you before the event in a poll how good your English actually is. Yeah, so that is the most important question when it comes to language. That, well, how good is your English? Yeah, and most programs require IELTS 6.5 or IELTS 6.0. That is, in the European framework spoken, it is a C1 level. Yeah, so in most programs, you will need C1 level to study in this program. It can be different if you say, well, you want to study the violin. Yeah, if you want to study music, I guess music is an international language in itself, and I think I have seen programs where you can study the piano or violin with B1 level. Yeah, so they say, okay, that's for music, maybe that's good enough. But for most other subjects like engineering or social sciences, you will need C1 level. Okay. Yeah. As I said, well, there is no German requirement, but of course, I would say that the German language is a benefit. Yeah, so if you study in Germany, you will have the chance to learn German, and that will be a plus for your resume, for your CV. It's yeah, it's always good, you know, if somebody asks you, hey, do you speak English? And then you can say, yes, sure, I speak English, aber ich spreche auch Deutsch, mais je parle français aussi. Ja, maar ik spreek ook Nederlands. Yeah, and maybe you could just go on and add a few more languages to that. So that would be pretty cool. And I believe German is strategically really a very good language. Yeah, it's the biggest language in the European Union. Thailand has really a lot of trade going on with Germany. So Germany as a partner in trade is more important than France and the UK combined, just to give you an idea. Not to mention all those tourists, huh? But okay, right now, difficult topic. Cool. So in Germany, there is a comparable proportion of students like in Thailand. So every second person in 1 year group goes to university. So we have 3 million students, and 12% of them are international. 12% of those students are guests from abroad, and that is roughly the same for bachelor's level, master's level, PhD, and also for the lecturers. Yeah, so also in the lecturers and researchers, we have a quota of roughly 12% foreigners. I mean, there is no quota. I mean, we observe a percentage of roughly 12%. And for the students, at least, I know that 1/3 of them is from Asia, and we have a rising number of Thai students in Germany. So we have recorded the highest number for the last decade. Last year, we reached 1,000, more than 1,200 students from Thailand in Germany. Maybe another aspect that I personally like very much is that Germany is not just a receiving nation like the US or Australia, where a lot of students go to, but Germany is also one of the top sending nations. Yeah, if you look at the total numbers, most of the international students moving around the globe are from China, obviously. Second place is India. I mean, those two huge states, obviously, yeah, they have the first two ranks. But then you would probably expect the United States. But surprisingly, number 3 is Germany. Yeah, so we are ranking very high in both attracting students and in sending students abroad. And I'm really happy to say that. I think it's important to play a fair game here and level playing field, and so that's always good. Now that's the advertisement block, as I call it, one of my favorites in this presentation. Just in between, I'm having a look at your questions. Okay, we'll keep the suspense for the scholarships for a while. Okay, so bear with me. I will not forget the scholarship question. So some of the scholarships require 2 years of working experience. That's right. Myanmar. I'm glad to have listeners, viewers from Myanmar. Technically, you could always get in touch with the DAAD office in Hanoi, so they are responsible for you. But I mean, of course, I'm happy to answer your questions. So yes, there are all the scholarships that we will be talking about today are also available for students from Myanmar. I believe there may be some additional scholarships available, so it's good to check the small print. But I will tell you where to find scholarships and everything. So don't worry about that. Okay, so coming back to my advertisement block. So you see this study EU country ranking has been done for a number of years, and traditionally Germany always comes out on top if you ask the students. Yeah, so students are always very happy to study in Germany and give it very high ranking because you get very good quality, but also, and that is important for many students, you get this quality at a very friendly, let's say, price. Yeah, this is a very similar but a different slide. So this is comparing especially the affordability. And you can see the most affordable country to study in Europe is Poland. and then Serbia, Hungary, Romania. So these countries are affordable, and then pretty surprisingly on number 8 you find Germany. And honestly, if I asked you before, hey, what do you guess how expensive is living in Germany, you would probably not have thought that it is more affordable than Lithuania or Latvia. But yeah, so that's the findings at the study.eu ranking. Very interesting website. I really like their information. Yeah, so they found out that actually Germany is in the price range of Portugal or Lithuania. Now, that's my advertisement blog about that. So just checking on questions. Just graduated with a bachelor's degree. I'm interested in studying a master's degree in Germany. Yeah, sure. Yes, we can have a look. I'll try to keep that in the back of my mind. You're interested in aeronautics, and I'm very sure that there are international programs. We'll check that when we come to our database for international programs, because that's the nice thing about DAAD. It is one agency representing all German universities, so we have a nice database with all the information you need in one place. Okay, final slide for the advertisement block, and this is slightly funny because it's the US News Country Ranking 2019. In 2018, we were ranking number 3 worldwide. 2019, we are ranking number 4. I mean, that's no drama, I would say. And I like this slide particularly because of the first item. If you look, hey, we are doing good in, citizenship, entrepreneurship, global power, quality of life, but that's okay, yeah. But then we really suck at adventure, and yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, if you're looking for an adventure, just don't go to Germany. Yeah, sorry, I mean we can help you with all kind of things, but we are really bad at adventure. Yeah, so Germans are, I would say, predictable. So you don't have to interpret much. Yeah, you don't have to think about, hey, what do they mean? Yeah, but typically Germans can be quite impolite, quite direct, but in most cases this is not meant to be unfriendly. It's more of a German efficiency thing. Yeah, so they just say what they mean and they mean what they say, and if you just listen carefully, you know exactly what is going to happen. So that's why I like this slide. Yeah, it's not so much to brag about yet another fantastic ranking, but it's funny to see it split up into different aspects, and then seeing Germany really sucking in adventures. Yeah. Okay, you say, I mean, by now I hope you're convinced that it might be a very good idea to go to Germany. So let's talk about money. Yeah. Tuition fees are covered by the German government for nearly all students. So that goes for German students, for European students, for Thai students, for students from Myanmar, Vietnam, wherever. That's the general rule of thumb. Yeah. In general, the German government says, okay, education is super important and it is an extremely good investment. And even if we invest in foreign students, usually it pays off for Germany. Yeah, it's a very complicated um, calculation with a lot of unknown factors, but our experience so far is that over the long run, any investment in education is a good investment. So that's the general rule of thumb. But of course, if it's too good to be true, it's not true. So there is a bit of small print. So we have to look at the small print here. The small print is that private universities do charge tuition fees. Yeah, so private universities are one exception to the rule. Tuition fees at private universities can be quite substantial. Second exception, non-consecutive programs are not covered. So if you do a bachelor's in engineering, and you work for 2 years, and then you realize, hey, to get into that really leadership position, to get this job I want to have, I need an MBA. Yeah? So you did engineering, and now suddenly you want to go from engineering to business administration. This may be a good move strategically, but that's a move where the German taxpayer would say, okay, you know what, your private business investment may be good for your business, but we are not going to subsidize this kind of business. So unfortunately, most MBA programs are not state sponsored in Germany. Yeah, you can still do it, and maybe it's a very good idea, but if you have not done a bachelor's in business, then your master's in business will cost tuition fees. And finally, and I really hate them for this because it makes my job so much more complicated, finally, the state of Baden-Württemberg, so that's this state down in the southwest of Germany, this one out of 16 states charges 3,000 euros per year from non-EU students. So that would be, interesting to know for most of you. But as you can see, it is just one state out of 16. So, and on the other hand, the real costs for 1 year of studies in Germany is more in the range of 15,000 euros. So it is just 1/5. Yeah, so you pay 20% and the German government or the German taxpayer pays 80%. So yeah, maybe it's still a good idea. Okay. Yeah, well, that is probably a big topic in the back of your minds right now. What about safety? In general, I always say, Germany is one of the safest countries in Europe. Crime rates are low. Homicide rates are hard to find in the statistics, and really falling crime rates for 20 years. Nowadays, I always add that yes, and we have a very good health system. Yeah, so in this slide here, I try to focus on a few countries that you may find interesting to study in. So the top blue line here is the United Kingdom. These are deaths per million. Yeah, so I know that the United States has much more deaths, but they are also much bigger. So this is adjusted for the size of the country. So the United Kingdom, you see, is up here, and then you have the United States, and then Canada, and France, and then very close to the bottom down here you find Germany. So right now we have something like, I don't know, 0.2 deaths per million people. Yeah. So it really, you can see nicely that Germany managed to keep that curve really flat from the beginning. I mean, okay, Thailand has shown a really outstanding example of not even letting the epidemic start. But if you compare Germany to any European country or to other study destinations, I would say it's probably one of the safest places to study right now. And 4 days ago, Germany recognized that Thailand is also a very safe place. So when you come from Thailand, you don't have to go to any form of quarantine in Germany. You can just step on a plane, fly there, step off the plane, and go to the place you want to stay. And for study purposes, the German embassy is open again. Yeah, it's still closed for tourism visa, but if you want to apply for a study visa, then you can already go there and apply. So that is possible to go there. Yeah. Okay, before we start with that My Guide topic, let me have a look um, at the questions again. So somebody wants to do policy, political economics. Yeah, we might even have a scholarship program for that. Germany is not bad for adventure. It's just I will feel a bit exclusive sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, okay. So I don't think you need to drink beer to have an adventure. You can also go climbing in the mountains, or you can go cycling downhill. There are a few quite exciting things that you can actually do without alcohol. That's fine. Don't worry. Um, Whether German or English program is better for Thais who only study German language in Thailand. Yeah. Well, either way, I mean, whether you study in German or in English, you will need C1 level at least. Yeah. So for German courses, typically the university will ask for test DAF 4 times 4, which means test DAF level 4 in all 4 sub tests, and that is in the mid range of C1. And for English, in a similar way, as I said, IELTS 6.5. If you're good in German, if you already have, let's say, B2 level, then I would recommend, go to Germany, take a language course, and polish up your German a bit. It should be possible, if you go there and you emerge into the country, into the language, into the culture, all of that, it's relatively easy to get up one level. Yeah, so if you do an intensive course, maybe 1 month, you may have a chance. If you do B2 level here in Thailand and you do an intensive course of 1 month, you might have a chance to do a C1 test in Germany successfully. And then you have a choice of 20,000 programs instead of just 2,000 programs. Yeah. So of course that makes things easier. But okay, I would not say that the German programs in general are better or really any different than the English programs. I mean, it can be I think, quite fun to study in an international program because you, of course, you also have more international students, and you'll have nice international student parties. And so I did, well, anyway, I'm drifting off. But yes, so international programs can be fun. Um, Engineering management, that's cool. Uh, Somebody's graduated with a bachelor's in engineering management. Is it consecutive to pursue a master's degree in engineering? Well, what you describe here as a degree in engineering management, that's what we call in Germany Wirtschaftsingenieur, or a degree in systems engineering. Yeah, so that is something that was actually, I believe, developed in Germany to have this Wirtschaftsingenieur. So it's a very cross-cutting subject, somebody who understands the economic needs of a factory and also understands the engineering requirements of how to keep things working. So is in very high demand, and there are many universities in Germany offering courses in this field. So yeah, I'm sure you will find a program there. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we talked briefly about money, and just to give me a chance to drink another glass of water and refill, I would like to show you a little video blog from our study in Germany YouTube channel. So that is a really recommended source of information. And in this video, you see a student, what's her name again? Well, she'll introduce herself, talking about money. So how much can you buy for your money in Germany? And I found that very interesting for international students. Yeah. Hmm. Sure. I just hear that you don't get sound. That's a bit disappointing. With the first video, it worked, which is strange because I get sound here. Um,
Range price could be between 5 until maybe 100 euros. This of course depends on the things you want to do. For example, concert we have 35, film of the nature, movie which is 14, which is maybe sometimes 10. One important thing is the
Yeah, okay, so that was a really low-tech improvisation, forwarding the sound from my headphones into the microphone. Um, Now I need to turn down the sound a bit, otherwise I go deaf. Good. So we already have a number of questions and a number of study fields of study in that's good. And so now let's check how this works. We have a brand new website called myguide.de, and we have collected data from all the universities and all the programs, as I said, into this one database. And it's really super simple. So you can say, well, I want to do engineering, let's say, and I want to do a master's and I want to do it in English, and then you click and then you get all the results. And we are working on it to make it more customizable. So you can also select the level of English that you speak, and so it's really exciting. We try to build in more intelligence into this website. Anyway, so I'll just go to that site and share another window with you. So we go up here, and yeah, you can see it's already in. Whoops, I'll just enlarge a bit more in case you're looking on a small display, so that might be useful. Yeah, so we agree with the cookies. You can also log into that database, which is nice because then you can save your search results and come back later. And ideally, you can apply straight to the university out of our database. So, well, the last request that I can see here was aeronautics, yeah? So my field of interest might be something with engineering, and I'm aiming for a master's degree, and language-wise I prefer English only, please. And then we go to start. And you see we've got 303 results. So that's a bit too much. So we want to boil it down to aeronautical engineering, for instance. Now we don't get anything here. Let's see what else we... So there seems to be... we can also... I think we can also just... Can we just enter parts of... Yeah, okay, so we've got 2 master's degree, aeronautical management and transfer fluids materials in aeronautical and space applications. So that's, I mean, it's super specific, and you see we don't have much choice, but it's interesting because you can see now that we've got 2 programs in a similar field, and well, one of them is charging tuition fees and the other is not. Yeah, so we've got one university here, the University of Applied Science Bremen. So universities of applied science are universities that are focusing very much on the cooperation with the industry. They are, as the name says, okay, yeah, they are very much focusing on the applied side of research and teaching. So you'll gain a lot of practical experience. So this university is one of the examples, a private one where they charge tuition fees. On the other hand, here you've got the Technical University of Cottbus-Senftenberg, a really important traditional technical university in Germany in a rather small city. And now the nice thing about this database is you don't have to Google about this master's program, but you can just click on it and then you get all the details that you probably want to know. So entirely in English, 4 semesters, starting in the winter semester only. So that is from October to February, March, maybe including the exams. So you've got a link to the directly to this master's program. Yeah, very, very nice. And if you register, you can also use our portal to apply directly to most universities. Okay. So let's have another look. So what was the other one? There was some public policy that now we've got many programs. Studying master's degree. Social science, humanities. I mean, there must be a bit. Maybe you could be a bit more specific. Aircraft maintenance. Okay, let's see what we find with. Everybody is interested in aircrafts. Let's see. Aircraft engineering, specifically maintenance. Well, I doubt it, but aircraft systems engineering is pretty close, I guess. Maybe you can specialize within the program for maintenance, I guess. So we've got 7 results. Technical University of Hamburg. Tuition fees, if they say please inquire, typically that means that they were too shy to admit that there is a registration fee. Yeah, so all universities will charge a registration fee of 200 euros, 250 euros. This does typically include free public transport, so it's a really good deal, and I believe this has got nothing to do with really tuition fees. Mechanical engineering, also Hamburg. Aviation systems engineering. Oh no, that's a bachelor. Obviously, I didn't manage to kick out the bachelor degrees. So aerospace engineering of Stuttgart. Technical University in Wildau. Honestly, nobody knows where. Yeah, okay, a few people know where Wildau is, but once again, it is a relatively small city, and still, it is an important university, and I believe that's a nice thing about the German higher education landscape, and that's also an important factor if you want to keep your research or your study stay affordable. Yeah, Munich and Hamburg are great cities, super vibrant and everything, but they are also super expensive. So maybe it's a better idea to go to a smaller city and focus on your studies, and then during the weekend you can take the train and go to the next bigger city. Okay, so that is our website, My Guide. Yeah, I really like this website. It's very easy to explore, and I can only recommend that you give it a try. Yeah, if you're interested and you think, okay, well, I'm not going to. I don't know where to go, and I would just let you guide by the results here at this website. Really nice, very comprehensive. Okay, media studies. Yes, sure. Okay, final try. Let's say we do. Yeah, well, you see, there is lots of different offers in media. We'll just, you know what, we'll just keep media as a search term, and I'm not going to click on any of the very specific names, so you can just get an idea of how much offer there is with media. And this time I'll put the filter for master's degree so that we really only get master degrees. Um, well, so 3 results on master's level. And if you like to, sometimes you say, well, I've got family in Germany, and they live in the region of, let's say, Frankfurt, yeah. Then you can also say, okay, I want to boil it down to just the federal state of Hesse, yeah. So you can say, okay, let's say we only want to look in Hessen. Or you can also say, okay, I don't want a program from Baden-Württemberg. So you just click all the states and just leave out Baden-Württemberg, and then you get results only from outside of Baden-Württemberg. So that, yeah. So there's really a lot of things that you can do here, and yeah, we can't go through all the programs for you live. For most of the others, it's probably boring. So I would recommend everybody of you who is interested in a specific program, please have a look at myguide.de. Super simple. Okay, so now I think everybody is just waiting for the scholarships, right? Okay. I'm always so hopeful, I think, hey, maybe somebody is just interested in the academic content, and then I understand. I can't complain. I received many years of scholarships in my life, so yeah. So DAAD is the biggest scholarship donor worldwide, and we are supporting pretty much anything academic, really, from undergraduates to researchers and university presidents, and travel grants and full scholarships. And well, if you look at the total number for Thailand to Germany alone, that was 328 scholarships or grants in 1 year, in 2019. Yeah, so about the same number, by the way, the other way around. So we supported 325 Germans coming to Thailand and 328 Thais going to Germany. However, we do not have a general open general open master's scholarship. I'm getting confused here because we have an open PhD scholarship, yeah, but masters, we would like to offer this, but we don't have a ministry giving money for general master's scholarships to Germany. So right now we only have 3 big fields where we support master's students to go to Germany, and that is everything development related. This sounds fuzzy, and it is fuzzy. Yeah, so there is a list with German international programs taught in English, most of them at German universities, and they are all focused around the Sustainable Development Goals. So that reaches from education over health and even some management aspects and renewable energy and wastewater, and yeah, so it's a very broad field. And for those selected programs, you can apply directly to the program to do a master's in Germany. For those development-related programs, you must have work experience. Yeah, so work experience, typically 2 years of work experience is a requirement for those development-related programs. You can find all the information under EPOS. So maybe Kun Prakakeo, by the way, hello, who is in the background taking care of some questions on Facebook. Maybe you could post the link in the comment section. Yeah, so the easiest is you type in daador.th/EPOS. Yeah, so our homepage daador.th/EPOS, and then you see all the programs in the development related field. That is one field. Second field is public policy, good governance. The PPGG program is now called Helmut Schmidt program. I'm sure we can also post the link to Helmut Schmidt in the comments. That is for, I don't know, who was it? Somebody commented that he was interested in public policy. Also a very exciting program. I think about 8 different universities offering international programs in public policy, good governance, and once again, you need job experience for this. And then finally, we've got the field of artists. So that can be performing arts. It can be even architecture, music, fine art, design, film. So if you are from this artistic field, you can apply for a master's program in Germany. This is not always an MA or something. It can also be a non-degree or an artist's degree. It can be a master training where you join a master class, like for painting. Yeah, in Germany you don't get an MA in painting, but you can say, well, I studied with Professor something, and so you join a specific master class with a famous artist, and then that's your type of qualification. Yeah, so if you do this, then you can apply. Honestly, I mean, we had a number of very successful applications, so people went there, but it is not for you if you say, I'm just interested in, I just, I want to design a few things, and I'm not sure if I'm really an artist. I just need to learn a few skills, and I thought, or maybe you want to do musical therapy, that's not music, and that's not this high level of art that we are looking here for. Yeah, so this is really a program for artists. Yeah, so that is our offer for DAAD scholarships. Now, I know it can be a bit frustrating because you may see that, okay, well, my field is not represented here, so I don't get a scholarship. That's On the other hand, you can say, okay, the German government is paying 15,000 euros a year in tuition fees for me when I go to Germany. So that's actually pretty cool, yeah, to study at such a good European university and get a great degree and basically not paying any tuition fees. That's quite a good kind of scholarship. So I would say that's that's fair enough. Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, maybe you find something in this broad field of development related scholarships, or maybe you're interested in public policy, good governance. That is ideal for if you're working for a ministry or if you're working for an NGO or yeah. Okay, so this is my contact data. I mean, you have already found me here on Facebook. That's good. You can also get in touch with me via email, or we are also on Line, yeah, the app Line. Yeah, and we will reopen our office starting on 1st of July. Yeah, so starting in July, you can also just come into our office rooms physically on Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Please book a slot in advance. Yeah, please make an appointment. We're trying out Facebook for that. Yeah, so if you go to our Facebook page, you may have noticed now that there is the option of making an appointment. So you can click one of those boxes and then you have a 30-minute slot. Okay. Yeah. What else? Okay. Well, there is one more option. Maybe that helps you a bit. So you can also try, depending on the subject, you can try and go to fundingguide.de. So that is funding-guide.de. And this is our DAAD scholarship database, where you can find not only the DAAD scholarships that I just spoke about, but you can also find other scholarship donors. Yeah, so private foundations and government foundations, all kind of scholarships for Germany, and they are all here. Oh, our internet seems to be super slow. Yeah, so you say, okay, I'm a graduate and I'm from Thailand, and yeah, let's say I'm interested in mathematics and natural sciences. So now you can look and then you see, okay, so there are a few research grants, that's for PhD candidates, but there are also university summer courses. If you are already good in German, maybe you could apply there. Then you find the EPOS program. I mean, for the one, somebody asked about aerospace engineering. So there is a special fellowship for the DLR, that is the German Aerospace Research Center. But once again, it is a research stay. Yeah, so that is more for PhD candidates. But you could also, which is really cool, you can also have a look at the IAESTE program. That is International Association for the Exchange of Students in Technical and Engineering subjects. Yeah, so you see, there are other options. It's always a bit dependent on your subject, and also for our listeners in other countries, there may be other options if you come from other countries. So yeah, maybe Myanmar may have additional programs available compared to Thailand. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, as my colleague Kun Prakakeo just typed in, not all the programs in my guide are supported. Yeah, they are, maybe many of them are supported in a way that the German government pays your tuition fee, but not all of them have any scholarship attached to it. Yeah, so there is somebody inquiring for an Ausbildung, so that is vocational training. Yes, of course, vocational training is open for foreigners. In most settings, you will have a work contract as somebody doing a vocational training in Germany. Yeah, so you may work for any, yeah, I mean, maybe you work for a welding and, you know, engineering construction company, yeah, and you want to do a training as a Metallbaumeister or something, yeah. So you want to do a vocational degree in Germany for somebody working with metal. In that case, you could apply for a work visa, and you could go to Germany if you have a work contract with this company, and then you can do your vocational training in Germany, of course. Yeah, that is not so much our focus here, but it is there is an entire website where Germany really tries to attract professionals from around the world, or those who want to become professionals. So that is makeitingermany.de. I'm terribly bad at typing and talking at the same time. makeitingermany.de. I hope that's correct. Yeah, so if you click on the link, or if I have misspelled it, then you just look for it online. Yeah, makeitingermany.de. That's the place to look for job opportunities. In general, if you decide to study in Germany, if you want to do a master's in Germany, once you graduate from a German university, you can always turn your study visa into a job seeker's visa, and then you have 18 months, so 1 year and a half, to look for a suitable job. During this time, you can do any job you like. You can do, you can do burger flipping or whatever. You can just to survive, you can just for your upkeep, you can do any job. And if during this time you have found a qualified job, so a job where typically you would say, okay, that is why I studied, then you can turn your job seeker's visa into a work visa and into a residence permit. Yeah, so for many years, Germany is one of the most generous countries in Europe when it comes to this kind of work visa. After you graduate, it's very easy. If you say, well, now I've learned how to work with this and that, and I know German, and now I want to practice before I go back to Thailand and apply this in my home country, you can easily say, okay, I'll just stay here for 2 more years, or 3, 4, 5 more years, and then I go back or so. Yeah, so that's very easy. Okay, have I forgot anything important? If you're sitting out there and you think, hey, why has he not answered my question? Maybe you just ask it again in the comments. Otherwise, I could already make a little announcement that next week, same time, 29th of June, we will have an info session in Thai. Yeah, so my two colleagues, Kun Prakakeo and Kun Isarapon, will be more or less in the same space here, sitting and talking about study in Germany in Thai language. So it will also be about admission, about study in Germany, scholarship opportunities, living costs, life in Germany. So you can also ask all your questions, if you like, next week. Come on, guys, last chance. Otherwise, I would declare that all questions have been answered. There's some important note. Have I forgotten anything? Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. So there has been the question: why do we have a limit for scholarships, an age limit, or in our case, a career step limit, as we call it? So quite some time ago, we had an age limit. We said, okay, you know, when you're already 30, then you probably don't need to do your masters. Come on, just go working, and it's all fine. And people very rightfully complained about that and said, hey, that's so unfair. You know, I started my education very late, and so why do I have 6? Did I say anything else? So and then we changed and we said, okay, so we're not talking about the age anymore, but we're talking about the time that has passed since the last step that you took. So if you do your bachelor's, then from a DAD perspective, you have 6 years for the next step to do a master's. Yeah, so when you apply for a master's degree, your bachelor's should not be older than 6 years. And the same goes for the step from master's to PhD. Yeah, so we notice that mostly people lose a bit of contact to the academic world, and also of course the impact is smaller. You know, when somebody does their masters and they are already 54, then it is good for their personal growth and it may be very interesting, but the return on investment for the society is relatively small, because, you know, once they have finished their masters, they are already looking towards their retirement. Yeah, so the benefit is smaller, and so that is why at some point people decided that, you know, we want to focus on those people who, I mean, you don't have to do one thing after the other. It's good to have some job experience. It's good to broaden your horizon and to experience the world. But, you know, you shouldn't lose too much time between two of those steps. So, in general, your last degree shouldn't be older than 6 years when you apply for DAD funding. But have a close look into the specific programs. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Ben Harris is saying hello. Hello, Ben. Yeah. Good. Yeah, well, I mean, we will definitely repeat this exercise. I feel it's very very nice a nice way to get in touch with people, and as I said, next chance will be next week. Then you can meet Kun Prakakeo and Kun Isarapon here, and I think, I'm sure I will pop up again in this channel, and otherwise you can see us and find us on Facebook, online, on Twitter, um, and wherever you just type in DAAD Thailand, and I'm sure we will be very easy to find. Okay, so I would say I'll call it a day, and have a good night, have a good evening, and see you around next time. Bye.